Good people, what is going on? Another episode of the All Go Podcast. I'm your host, Desmond. Wanted to do a quick video because unfortunately the Lions didn't have many moves to talk about. But the trade deadline is over. The Lions made the trade for Za'Darius Smith. They the trade compensation was pretty minimal. I think that was a really good deal, a solid deal. Uh, I thought they should have targeted someone like Jadeveon Clowney, who is with the Carolina Panthers. Um, I just figured that the Panthers aren't really going anywhere. They are in full on rebuild mode. Excuse me. And I just thought we needed to add another player. I thought even if you went for like maybe a backup or a depth guy, that it would be worth it because now I want to make it clear I'm happy with the trade, the Za'Darius Smith trade, but I think it kind of puts us back in the same position we are in really to a lesser degree of really only having one pass rusher. So when there's only one guy, then offenses can focus on that guy. They can double team, they can chip, they could add a tight end, so on and so forth. So I just felt like if we were to add another guy like Jadeveon Clowney, it would be another guy who potentially could win one-on-one matchups. Before the Packers game, I had mentioned, James Houston, if he could potentially kind of pop or just get back to the guy he was a couple of years ago, and that just doesn't seem to be the case, which is what it is. You kind of have to deal with it. But to me, I think a gut punch, which I just checked out and paid attention to, was the Pittsburgh Steelers traded a seventh round pick for Preston Smith, who is a former Green Bay Packer. Um, and I do understand the Packers were not going to trade him within the division, especially to a team that you just lost to at home by double digits. So I do understand that. But to me, that signifies that there were other pass rushers to be had. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but would have just liked to see that move made or an additional move made. This is I think the first trade deadline, the first substantial trade deadline move that Brad Holmes has made in his tenure here. So maybe he's kind of turning a corner, but I also think with the Aiden Hutchinson injury, his hands were really tied. I mean, he had to make a move. He waited till the deadline the last day, but is what it is. So I'm happy with the trade. I think it makes the Lions a better team, and we shall see what happens. I think the focus just kind of has to shift because my thought was if we could get two pass rushers, we could still be pretty balanced offense and defensively. But I think with the way the Lions are trending, I mean, really, I think we're going to be an offensive team for the next, the kind of the end of the season, and really when you start looking at the playoffs, what I think our formula for success is going to be, getting to 30, 32 points, in that range and getting out ahead of teams and really just, trying to make them play catch up, which is pretty difficult to do. But I think that's going to be our formula. Still a long way to go. We got the Texans coming up Sunday Night Football. So, yeah, the Lions make a trade. I would have liked to see more than one, but happy at least we have that one trade down. So we shall see what happens. But that's it for me. Appreciate it. Peace.